Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Courtney, it's another Wednesday morning, and here
It
we
is. It
are.
is. Oh, yeah. You're so excited. Okay. Yes.
I am so excited
I
because
love
it's
how excited
Wednesday.
you are for Wednesday. It is.
What?
It is hump day, guys. So hashtag hump over your hurdle. Whatever you're struggling with, get it done, knock it out, check the box. Done is better than perfect, right? So hashtag hump over your hurdle. And while we're talking about hashtags, go ahead and share this with the hashtag Force for Growth. And that's a chance to win. Our current contest is the Ultimate Relationship Program by Tony and Sage Robbins that Vanna White is holding up so wonderfully right now. And that's over $200 value, phenomenal program. And every time you share it and use hashtag Force for Growth, it's an entry to win. And Apple listeners, if you'd be kind enough to leave us some honest feedback as a review, and that is how you enter there. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Woo.
Oh,
Man, I'm excited about today's topic, Courtney.
I am too.
I
I
am
am too.
excited. What are we going to talk about today?
Value.
Woo, adding value.
Yes, a big one. Just I was joking with Ricardo, be where your feet are needs to be our new tagline. Man, if that doesn't sum up value to
Yes.
me, that's really just drives it home. But value.
Let's talk about in the context of business first.
Okay.
Why is it important to add value in business to your customers, to your potential clients?
Because that's the reason they're reaching out to you. That's the reason they want to work with you. That's the reason you have this connection in the first place. Is somebody saw your position, your company, your whatever, they could get value. You could be of service to them. They can, you know, they're looking for a problem you or a solution that you provide to a problem they have. So I think people take that for granted in business, and it really gets under my skin because like who said you don't need your heart there in the moment with you in business? And I'm not going to go on a big soapbox on that, but basically like if you are truly there listening to your client's needs, if you're truly asking what your client needs, pause, that's a big one. And I'm in insurance, so that's second nature for me. However, that's also where I learned a lot of people will send a quote out and never even ask the client details, like you have no idea what they need. And so like for example, that's why I love the position I'm in now because I work with many different carriers, but I first talk to the client and find out what they need, what they want, what are their financial goals, what's been holding them back, what's, blah, 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 like fill in these blanks, but it's a genuine conversation. And then from there, I work with my many carriers to find the best rate for that package, but it's always based off that kind of initial package the client told me they need. And to be honest, what I hear is in between the lines. What I hear is they talk about this claim that happened last year, but the stress that it caused and things like that. So that's what I'm listening for. So that's my, I guess, expert trait that I've developed. I'm very intuitive and I bring that into business too. But it's everything. It's relationships. It's not just business. So one, I would say one thing that's probably tripping you up is you're treating business relationships like they're different than anything else. And they're
Hmm.
technically not. It's one of those things that it's real simple. It might not always be easy, but it's simple. And if you could just be in the moment more authentically listen to your client, and that might be, hey, we can't help you, but here's a genuine resource I can send you to, they might know more. It's not, I'm sorry, bye. It's keeping the flow going. Does that make sense? It's
It does.
keeping that value present. You don't necessarily have to be the solution to it to give value. And I think that's where we forget. And it's big. It holds a lot of people back because they're so obsessed with thinking they need to copy this person over here or do it like this or do it like this. And when you are copying or comparing or judging anything, you're not in your authentic self. So you're sacrificing value to
I agree.
yourself and to others.
I agree.
So,
I think the other part that needs to be mentioned in business when you add value is find your niche.
yeah.
Don't try to add value to everyone and everybody everywhere the same way.
Yeah.
Find your niche. Find the person that needs your product, your service, your offerings, and add value to them.
Hmm.
Because it's like if you're a plumber and you want to add value to someone who's looking for an electrician,
It's just a formula that doesn't work.
it doesn't work. You got to find someone who's actually needing some plumbing services,
Yeah.
and then
And
get
that's
in there
how,
and go above and beyond.
yeah, exactly. That's you create raving fans, I believe is what Tony Robbins calls them. But you create raving fans in your business by serving people in a specific area. But then that person's going to tell their mom, that person's going to tell their brother, that
Correct.
person's going to tell. So you create a few raving fans that you truly gave value to, and they will send the ripple out for you. They will, or should I say, assist with keeping the ripple going. And then that's when you broaden your tribe
Right.
of,
Yeah.
yeah, that you work with or that are naturally magnetized by you. Like there's going to be certain people, they're probably the people most like you, that are just going to be easiest to reach out to, easiest to connect with. Does that make sense? But as your expertise grows, as they say 10,000 hours in any one thing to be called an expert, right? That's so true. And the reason is because you need 5,000 hours of failures to be considered an
Ooh,
expert. So we forget that that's part of the formula. And we're like, oh, I did great on this one thing last week. I'm the expert. I'm going to teach you how to make $1 million. No, like stop. Just stop
add
with that.
value.
If that's your
Find your
marketing
niche.
aspect that you're approaching, don't do it. But you can give honest, genuine value, just a tip a day, a
A tip a day.
genuine tip a day. Hey, I read this great book. Here's 3 things I learned from it.
I like it.
Doesn't even have to do with your business, but it will run traffic to your business because you're just being authentic with the world, living out loud. That's what we used to call it in network marketing. Live out loud.
That's a Kyle Cease thing. Live out
Is it?
loud. It is.
Okay.
It
Well, I
is.
wouldn't want to take credit away from Kyle Cease. So
we
I
love
love
we
you,
love us
Kyle.
some Kyle Cease.
Yes.
I-
But one
fi-
question I have. Okay. Yes.
so
Yes.
the thing with finding your niche, I think it's also how you add value and who you're attracting to your business versus who you're repelling away. Because if
Yeah.
you try to impose your service, your goods, your whatever on someone who's not really looking for it, on someone who doesn't really need it, you're gonna kind of push them away. You're gonna leave a bad impression, and you're
Mhm.
gonna leave what I refer to as a bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah.
And they're gonna tell somebody. They're gonna tell somebody. Oh yeah,
And
that Courtney chick, man, she was like trying to push insurance on me, and I really need a plumber.
yeah.
Well, you don't want that.
Hmm.
You don't want that. You don't want
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You wanna serve people where they need to be served in the services and what they're looking for. And if you really got to talk someone into it so hard, that might be some feedback.
And you're probably gauging your performance. Our performs our word of the week. So we gauge our performance based off the no's we're getting from the people that we're actually pushing away and how we're in our approach that Ricardo just explained. And then you think that's reality. And then you might give up what you're doing or stop trying, where it's back to the 2 millimeter rule Michelle was talking about on Monday, Tony Robbins. You're not miles off your outcome. You're 2 millimeters off. But it's like a airplane, flying across the country, just the smallest margin of difference on their path, like over time, you'll end up in a different state, different part of the country you're even aiming for. So that's the idea of the 2 millimeters. It's small adjustments that are effective, not throwing in the towel because, oh, I give up. I always fail at everything or whatever the self-talk. It's the trap that a lot of us fall in.
It
I guess
is.
what I'm trying to say. So, but I'm curious what so Ricardo thought of this topic, and usually when we bring up Wednesday topics, we throw out a few ideas, but you brought up this one. So why is this topic so important to you?
I think it's important right now because it's important to me right now because I'm seeing a lot of people just throwing stuff out there. And I wonder, who are they actually trying to reach? Do they even know who they're trying to reach? Or are they just trying to throw stuff out there just to throw it out there and use the old throw it on the wall and see if it sticks
Yeah.
formula, which is a good formula.
It's still
And it
effective.
and if you have nothing, I definitely suggest go with that, right? But also, are you throwing spaghetti on the right wall?
Yeah.
What if you're throwing it on the wrong wall?
What if you're
Take
using cooked or raw spaghetti? So you don't even get the point of the analogy. You know, a lot of us
right.
aren't even using
Oh, there you go.
we don't realize it needs to be cooked spaghetti to be a limp noodle. You know, no. So we're just like taking the very most basic
I
step
can't,
one, two,
Courtney. I
three.
can't. Like you're right. You're right. What if you're using? What if you don't even understand that you got to cook the spaghetti before you throw
which
it on the wall?
which oh my gosh. Okay, which if that doesn't sum up a lot of things we see marketing wise on social media, I don't know what else does. But anyway, okay, composure.
Oh,
Um it's big. It's big. It never hurts to stop and just check your approach and an
is it
accurate view
working?
of your performance. It's, you know, back to our Monday episode, we talked a lot about this. So I don't want to dive too deep into it, but it's so big and you can switch your approach at any time. So don't feel like because you've been doing it this way, you have to just
No,
keep
it's
trying
a
new
thing. And
things,
how
but
do you
it's
measure it?
packing more.
How do you measure it? So here's the thing. Here's a lot of what I see out there is, oh, I want 1 million views. Okay, cool. You got 1 million views,
What's that going to
but
get you? What's that going to
but
do?
3 people followed through and purchased your product.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd rather have 100 views than have 50 people purchase my product
Yeah,
or
that was
service.
a principle Allstate taught on because I spent 9 years with and managing an Allstate agency, but Allstate taught on what's the magic number. So basically, how many calls you need to make to get quotes, how many of those quotes sell, and basically it was finding out how many calls you need to make to get X number of sales. And there's a lot of factors in between that. Guess what? When you're assuming like, I think if I make this many, I can get this, and half will say yes. No, it's not going to be that shiny pretty. But just like what you're saying, you'd rather have 100 views with 50 purchases. And that goes back to your niche. Like
Are you talking to the right person? Are you
yeah.
putting yourself in front of the right audience? Are you throwing spaghetti on the correct wall?
Yeah, Sean Murphy has a great program out called Secret Sauce, and he is now, I believe they're done with Secret Sauce 2 Academy, but the basis of those teachings are tell your story, find your gifts. You know, every single
Years.
one of us was born with something no one else can do.
Yes.
I
And
can't
that's
tell
how
you what
you add
that is
value.
for you. Yeah,
And
but
that's how you add value. That's how you add value.
Mhm.
So real quick, let's pivot.
Okay.
So we talked about business, adding value into personal friendships in your personal life. And I'm going to Jesse here. Do you add or take away value?
Thank you, Jesse. That is a good one. Do you add or take away value? What a
Yeah.
great question.
Do you add or take away value? That is the question when it comes to business and when it comes to personal.
Man,
I've had
that's
friends who are vampires. Like all they do is just suck resources out of me,
mhm.
whether it be money, energy, time. They just want. Gimme, 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 gimme.
Yeah. I
Mm-mm.
have a close okay, so two examples that just kind of situations where I can see my old self in it. But I have okay, so a friend texted me yesterday and was like, "Well, call me at this time to hear about my crazy life." And that
Oh man,
like
that's
it's a
the text that I
loaded
would just like jump onto that call. Let me call real quick. Oh,
yeah,
I
and
can't
so
wait to
it's
call.
kind of so I had the mental process where it's like I love this person. I want to be there for them. They're going through a tough time. However, I won't even let myself take time to run through the bad stuff that happened yesterday because, baby, that was yesterday and it's done. Let it go, move on, bring your magic into today. I'm not going
Hold
to
on.
call to
Say that
ask
again. So that say that again a little bit slower, please.
because it's done. Let it go. It happened yesterday. I don't even have time. I won't allow myself to give time to my own self in my own head running through what bad things happened yesterday or last week or last month or last year. Trust me, I got a list too. I don't pay attention to it. But you got to keep the flow going. So I love that person, but I'm not going to call and ask about what happened last month that you hate. Like but that's a culture we're in. Whereas I also had a conversation with another friend yesterday, and love y'all both, by the way. Basically, where she was looking back, and it's a relationship that lots of troubles over the years, but she's going through this training that has really just opened up what troubles she brought to the table with it, where
Mm,
she was taking value from this person. Whereas for years, this person was the bad person, like, oh, we just but she come to the realization that I created a lot of those situations. I made that happen. Yeah, they're not perfect. Most humans aren't in a relationship. So, spoiler alert, but we got to drop that expectation.
So here's
Oh,
one thing.
yeah.
One thing that you just said on CD1 of the Ultimate Relationship Program, Tony talks about that, what you just talked about. He
Mm,
challenges you for 30 days to make it about your partner. For 30
yeah.
days before you give up, before you throw in the towel, before you start talking about divorce or anything like that. Give it 30 days, giving it all you have to the relationship, regardless if the other partner does the same.
Okay, this is a great analogy for everything we're talking about right now because exactly. So Tony will teach, I mean, UPW at any of he touches on relationships and a lot of things, but he gives the trash example. Like when you first start dating your partner and they're like, "Hey, can you take out the trash?" You're like, "I take out the trash." Yes, and he does this dance in the aisle. We love it. And then 5 years down the road, when your partner's like, "Hey, can you take out the trash?" You're like, "I don't want to take out the trash," and it's an insult to you that you get asked this question, right? So what's the difference? The people are the same, situation's the same, the state we're showing up in is different. And
Yes.
so the importance of you still need to date your partner, you still need to date your partner, but it's even taking that to a simpler level, more simple level, is that you made it about them. When you first met that person, you doted over them, you made it about them, you obsessed over their good traits. It just happens that 5, 10 years in, you happen to know a lot more about that person. You have examples of situations you've been through with that person where maybe things didn't go the best way they could. And so
Amen.
then you tell yourself that that's the pattern, and your brain reminds you of that when they ask you to take out the trash, or it's so my whole point is that you're actually in control of all of that. And if
Yes.
you're still laying into the victimhood of it, look, we forgive you, but let it go. Like
And all
it
of that is adding value, making it about the other person, showing up for the other person, and giving it all you have for the other person in your relationship, in business, wherever you go. It's all under the umbrella of adding value to the other person.
yeah, yeah,
Ooh.
man.
But what do you get when you add value? What do you get in return?
You get a fuller cup. You get
Oh,
You get, and I don't mean that in money wise, but it can happen and show up in money because money is just energy. But you get more of a flow, more of an alignment, more of you're not living in the past or the future with regret or anxiety. You're right there. You can absorb the value just like you can give it. And it's just like what Jesse was saying and how they can take it away. When you are intentionally giving value to a partner, naturally, if it's a right relationship, they're going to give value back to you by
mhm.
default. So it creates this ripple and this connection and this currency that we get caught up in this world like we're not magical creatures, and it's funny to me, but it's not a funny subject. So it's just something that there's no harm in stopping and checking how you're approaching things, because even if you don't want what's going on in your relationship, even if that's the last thing you want, you can still be contributing to it, and you could still be affecting it in ways that you're holding up lessons for yourself, you're holding up growth for yourself and the other person. It's just stagnation. It's just stagnation. So kind of that's my like red flag. If I see feelings that I'm not dealing with, if I see this that I'm not dealing with, like just keep it moving. Just keep the flow going, whatever that means in the moment. So it doesn't always fit every situation, but yeah.
You know who the poster boy for adding value is, Courtney? In
Who?
my book,
Who's that?
our friend, our friend. This is who I thought about when you were giving that explanation. It occurred to me that the poster boy for adding value is
Oh, yes, Alex.
Mr.
Awesome,
Alex.
Alex.
Awesome Alex. Yes. He's
Yes.
always just out there. How can I
Mhm.
help? How can I make a difference? What can I do for you?
Yes. He is, especially if you are looking for a new car, go to Sam Pack's
And
Carrollton Ford and Chevy, something like that.
here's the
That's
best
it.
thing about him. You don't even really know what he does half the time until you
Yeah.
ask. So what do you do? Oh, well, I'm over here helping doing this. I'm volunteering over here doing that. I'm having lunch over here doing this. And then if you ask him, then he'll, oh yeah, I work for Sam Pack's 5-star Ford.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why he has
Oh
so many
yeah,
cheerleaders is because of genuine value he gave that had nothing to do with his business. And but side note, do you know what today is?
it's his birthday.
It's his birthday. So happy birthday, Alex.
Happy birthday, Alex.
Yes. Thank you we are so grateful you were born and what you do with all
Quick
you do.
plug. I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that. I was like,
I don't
wait
know
a
how to
second.
sum up
No,
Alex to the world.
we
Just
really don't know how to sum up
he's
Alex.
great. But a
But
great
he's the
example.
poster boy. He's the
Yeah,
poster
he's
boy for adding
genuine.
value.
He's there's I call it commission's breath, but there's no, you meet somebody and they're sweet and they're this but there's just an underlying of there's something they want to get out of it and you can smell it, you can sense it. Like we
Why?
have
Why?
receptors to that
Why can
cuz
you smell that?
because our our core is authenticity as a human. Okay, no, let me get woo-woo on you. It's okay, so I believe the point of life is a battle between love and separation. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot more to that, but basically like the game of life is to try to how you win the game is you stay in love, stay in that state of love, that gratitude, that whatever. There's thousands of different modes for it. But you stay there and stay out of separation, like anger, frustration, regret. All of those are partitions you're putting up, little walls you're building to see what the lesson was, to see what how that actually like gave you what you wanted the next year, even though it was really hard at that time. So it's just little things like that. But basically, like if you are I don't mean in love, like if you're staying in a loving state and you're authentically there with somebody, like you can't top that value. You're getting the most out of that moment, out of that connection, out of that relationship, out of that whatever right there. And I mean, it's quality over quantity with
Say that again.
everything.
Say
It's
that last part.
quality over quantity. And where I really mean that is in your self talk. Like you can say, like, okay, like you could, and people, I don't know, just an affirmation of like, I am value, I am value. You could say that thousands of times a day. But if you're waking up and thinking negative comparative thoughts about, oh, I failed yesterday in that first 10 minutes of the day, like screw your thousands of affirmations. That's not, can't even touch the negative priming you're doing at the beginning of the day. But that's how people walk through their life. And it just really gets me. It just really
It's a big one.
bothers me that we don't see that, but it's okay. Just
Think
look at
about
it.
this. Think about this. You got 4 or 5,000 friends on Facebook. How many of those friends can you actually call to help you move a big box?
It's a great question. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a big one. Real quick to the
Yeah.
comments, Jesse. When you add value, you grow, and that's what people around see, and that is why they want to work with you and create business relationships.
Yes.
People see that.
Absolutely.
And again, she gave a big shout out to Alex. Alex is the definition of adding value to those around him.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yes.
we're gonna have to tag Alex in this and be like, dude, you're gonna have to watch this whole episode because I
Yeah.
don't think he even realizes what we're doing over here and that he came up in this conversation.
No. Oh, but like that, it's a genuine just just find what your true value is. And if you don't know, that's okay. That's why they make lists of 101. Okay.
Correct.
So basically my challenge to you, let's make a list of just 101 things that you like about yourself, but I mean deep. And it can be like it's valuable that you went through that divorce. You learned a
Mm,
lot. So I'm not saying keep it positive. I'm saying be honest and authentic. It is valuable that you went through bankruptcy. You learned some lessons they don't teach in school. Trust me. Trust me. So there are a lot of things that build up to how valuable you absolutely are that you're blind to right now because you're on this loop of telling yourself things that quite frankly are silly. So stop. Just spend some time and make a list of 101.
wait a minute, Courtney.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Are you gonna make me explain the 101?
Hold up.
Okay.
I just need some clarification. Are you trying to tell me that you as an individual are valuable enough to add value to others?
Heck yes, I am. Hands down, 200%.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I understood that.
You know, the chances, and thank you, Les Brown, for the statistic, uh, the chance of you being born, and they haven't narrowed down an exact science, but it's at least smaller than 1 in 400 trillion that your parents would meet it when they did, they would conceive you when they did, they would blah 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 blah, all these details made I mean, we were talking astrology the other day, your birth chart, like, that is so unique to you. If you're into astrology, it's the map of your, like, life that your soul designed for you, if you believe that. So there's just a lot of things that it's okay to give yourself credit for, and it's okay to say, hey, that makes me more valuable, and then take it into the world, see what you can do with it. Even if it's just like exploring one trait a day, that's like, hey, this is awkward to talk about, like how I know how to do this, but I'm
I
just gonna,
like that.
but it's practice of putting yourself out there.
You're valuable enough to add value.
Yeah.
You're valuable enough to add value to people in your business. You're valuable enough to add value to your friends, to your community, to everyone around you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh
And I
well,
think
this conversation took an unexpected turn.
yeah, and Les Brown says, and the proof of that is the proof that your dreams still need to be met and you go after them is you woke up today. There's all the validation you need that your dreams deserve to be birthed. Like, you woke up today. So, man, listen to Les Brown. I love
Go out
that. You're
there and
talking
add
about
value.
adding value. Yeah. But
Oh man,
this was a good one. And
this
I
is
want to
really good.
say, because especially Ricardo has a birthday coming up too. So I want to pause real quick and just point out, thank you, Ricardo, from all of us at the Force for Growth show and beyond, from the North Texas Firewalker community, but just the tremendous, incredible value you've added over the last 6 years. And Jesse as well. Just, I can't quite put it into words, but it's been extremely pivotal for me. And watching folks like Michelle, who we just met in 2019, watch just how it trickles out. And just, I want to remind you and give you credit, because a lot of things that we've done over the last few years was not possible without you two, and especially just your feet on the pavement, Ricardo. So thank you from all of us, and a happy early birthday to you, by the way.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
That's so nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's today's episode.
Yes. Sorry.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You know what? Basket delivery, real quick. Our sponsors, our 2020 sponsors so far. We still got plenty of room here for more sponsors. Oh
Yes.
man, they've been rolling in, Courtney. This is the year that
So
we've had the
excited.
most sponsors and help from the corporate side than we ever have. And then we have some awesome individual sponsors, and I'm going to figure out a way to throw their name up there somehow and
Yes.
put them up there, because we couldn't do it without our private sponsors and our corporate sponsors.
Yes. Thank you all so much.
Thank you all. Boom.
Basket delivery is November 21st, 2020.
Yes.
Oh, it's a month from now. It's a month from now, to be
approximately a month. Visit basketsforgood.org. We're going to feed over 200 families for Thanksgiving. For a week. Over 200 families. I'm laying down the gauntlet. The original goal was 200.
Increased it.
Now it's over 200. Boom.
Bring it. Let's do it. In fact, in the wait, I need a video clip of you, because last night he texted me, let's do it. Whenever I hear Ricardo say, let's do it, I hear this, let's do it. Like, so can you just do that for me before we go out? Full relentless Ricardo.
Let's do it. Yeah. Come on, guys. Let's go.
Oh, I love it. No one can say it quite like you.
Thank you, Courtney.
You're welcome. Okay.
This was good. Go out there, add value, make a difference in the world, make a difference in the community. Figure it out on how to go out there and make a difference.
Yes.
It could be with our organization, other organizations, calling someone up, adding value to a friend, adding value to a customer, going above and beyond their needs.
Oh, before we go, I'm sorry. Yeah, and how you can add value to your Amazon purchases is instead of shopping at Amazon.com, you can shop at smile.amazon.com. And it's the same Amazon website, but a portion of your purchase goes to whatever charity you select. And you can select ours, which is GX3 Foundation. So G for growth, X for X-ray, and then the number 3 and foundation spelled out. And that is how you select us. But either way, just know you can stretch your Amazon dollars because we all know what you're doing late at night, buying way too much stuff. And so if you're already doing it, just stretch your dollar a little farther.
I
Yeah.
know. I need to put a cap on our Amazon account somehow. I need to figure that out because every morning I get like, this package is being delivered. This package is being delivered. I'm like, what is going on here? I haven't ordered
Yeah.
anything on Amazon in a while.
If you haven't adopted the wait 24 hours before you between add to cart and purchase, that really helps, especially with women, because I'll be like, I need this so bad. And then the next day I'm like, yeah, that was an insecure thought.
And if you do buy it, make sure you do it from smile.amazon.com.
Yes, absolutely. So
thank you, Courtney.
You're welcome. Thank you all. And thank you, Ricardo.
Thank you so much for tuning in. And real quick, we're never going to run out of real quick. So this is going to turn into a 1-hour episode. Jesse says, never.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to put a cap on our Amazon account. Never. With 2 exclamation points and 3 crying, laughy faces.
Yeah. Oh, I won't tell Jesse. Don't worry. There's a reason my partner and I have separate Amazon accounts.
Oh.
So we don't know. Yeah. Because whenever they came out with Prime, you can technically have 2 accounts under one Prime or something like that. You used to be able to. And we looked at it. We were both like, no, we don't want each other to know how much we actually find.
Wow.
Anyway, okay. TMI.
That's for another episode.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting better in my spending habits. But yeah, speaking of value, we'll do money someday.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Remember to visit forceforgrowth.com to subscribe to the podcast, our YouTube channel, and for more information about our podcast. Have a great day, everybody. And we'll be back on Friday. Bye.
Woo-woo.